All right. Yeah, what an unbelievable college football game that was. I told the team in there this game, the history of this game is as good as any in college football. The teams, the players, the epic battles. For so many years, man, it's been some of the greats, and this game will go down as one of the best. And I think it was kind of fitting, it came down to that. I mean, both teams came in, obviously, neither one very close to full strength, and it was just. Both teams put on one heck of a show. I mean, there were some mistakes, obviously, by both sides, but I mean, a lot of fight, a lot of courage, a lot of unbelievable plays, especially there in that second half. So I can't say enough about the fight of our guys. It's the last couple of weeks have been hard on our team, and we've had to really bear down. And like I said before, you don't have any. There's no magic pill to fix something when it's not going wrong. You've got to just grind your way out of it. And I give our team credit. They have not just done what we've asked them to do, but they've continued to stay extremely eager and have hung in there kind of through all parts of this. And I knew we would get better after the week we had. And it's obviously great to have the success to back it up and some momentum going in here to the back half of the season. So I've never been prouder of a football team than I am this team right now.
Let's go to Terry Murdoch.
Lincoln, I'm just curious. I mean, just the overall way that this team played. It seemed like the offensive line played really well. The defense played really well for a long stretch of time. How do you look at that there at the end? I mean, up by 14 with about 4 minutes to go, and just have it kind of collapse on you. I mean, is that something this team needed to kind of go through and get over? Because they've been going through that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're playing a pretty good football team there too, and that quarterback's taken a couple snaps both in this game, in the college football, and in this game too. So they're going to make some plays. I mean, we had some opportunities. Obviously, had an opportunity or two to stay on the field offensively, and we're just a tick off to be able to end it. A couple tough plays defensively, but I mean, listen, Sam Ehlinger's going to make his plays. I mean, we've sat here and watched it in this game for it seems like 15 years now. I mean, the guy's a good player, and he's difficult to contain. We did a good job throughout the game. I thought we got a little bit worn down. We weren't able to get quite as much pressure on him there at the end, and give them credit. They made some really competitive throws and catches, and Ehlinger made some good decisions, and came down to us offensively having a chance to get a first down, and we took a couple chances there to try to get first downs and weren't able to convert them. And they made plays. So, but the story of this is our fight. The story of this is how we continue to play for the overtime. Gave ourselves some real good opportunities to win, and obviously capitalized there at the end.
Let's go to John Hoover.
Hang on, sorry. Caught me off guard. So, Lincoln, I wonder about the second down field goal. If you could kind of take us through your thinking on that. That's really rare to kick a field goal on second down, to be presented with that opportunity, but then it didn't work out for you. Just take us through that if you could.
Yeah, also it was a pretty easy decision. We were able to get the ball exactly where Gabe likes it. We still had a timeout, I believe, at the time, and so if you didn't think we would, but if you do have a bad snap, anything like that, you obviously can use that timeout, kind of resettle everybody, and kick it again. So it was. I mean, Gabe makes that 99 times out of 100, and that was the one he didn't make. But we feel like we got one of the best kickers in America, and if I for some reason have that decision to do over tomorrow, I'm going to do exactly the same thing.
Brandon Drum.
Yeah, Lincoln, can you kind of walk us through just the decision with Rattler and Mordecai, and I guess the confidence you have in both those guys playing in a game?
Yeah, no, it was. I thought Spencer did some good things early, and then had a couple of plays that I didn't like, and so I knew Tanner had been practicing well, and so felt like one, wanted to kind of give us a new face in there, and two, I felt like Tanner would go play well, and then I also felt like that it would help Spencer take a step back for a second and kind of see the whole thing a little bit and settle down. And I think that happened. I mean, Tanner was stabilizing for us offensively, made some really nice throws, some key conversions, got a scoring drive, and honestly, really, other than the coming out of the pocket, which he looked like he was going to run a ways, and the ball just got knocked out of his hand, he played pretty well for us. So now I had confidence in either one, and decided at halftime to go ahead and give Spencer, to start with Spencer, and he got hot and kind of got settled in. We started playing pretty well, and so I was stuck with him the rest of the way.
Let's go to Joe Badger.
Lincoln, I was curious if you could speak to the days that Drake's teams obviously had with that touchdown there at the end, and as well as Fields. It seemed like he was a major factor in getting the offense going throughout the game.
Yeah, we've needed that. We've needed those guys, not just those two in particular, but our wideouts to really make some competitive plays. And those guys made some big plays. A number of Theos to me were just really competitive catches, and then obviously, got a really nice ball from Spencer there on the 2-point play. But some key plays, and had a couple plays after the catch too. And then Drake, man, what can you say? I bet his daddy's pretty happy right now.
Barry Trammell.
Lincoln, you got an explanation for the wild swings in performance when you played great defense early, you played great defense in overtime, but also in that fourth quarter, not so much. Then also offensively, drive 8 minutes, 9 minutes, but after that, the offense didn't do much until overtime.
Yeah, just kind of a little bit what we are right now. I mean, we're fighting for consistency, and I thought we did several things better than we have all year, but. I mean, listen, nobody wants to hear it, but I mean, we're a pretty young football team with our roster's kind of all over the place, and I think that's some of it. And then the other part of it is what I've been telling you guys for weeks is, we've got to continue just to improve. We've got to continue to fight through the things, and we did a lot of things better. We still recognize as a team that our best ball has not been played yet. Our best ball has not been coached yet. I mean, we still have so far to go, but. It's not always easy, I mean, it's, Texas, last time I checked, they got some pretty good football players and pretty good football coaches too, so you're going to have some plays go against you. And I thought we handled it, and we were able to turn momentum a lot quicker in this game than we had the other games. And, I think that's why we won eventually.
Ryan Aber.
Yeah, Lincoln, sort of along those lines there with defense, played great defense for most of regulation, and then things sort of fell apart late on you. What was going right for you there, and then where did y'all find those last two stops there on Texas's last two drives?
Yeah, we just played better there at the end. We played cleaner there at the end. Didn't have a couple of the penalties that gave them some momentum and kind of got them started. We did a little bit better job corralling Sam there at the end. And he's tough, man, because, guy sees the field. He's seen so many plays. And then, obviously the running ability. And that was, I think, the thing that really hurt us there in the fourth quarter was obviously his scrambles. And that's, probably the toughest thing in football to defend is a quarterback that can see the field and scramble, as we've seen around here. So, yeah, but we took a lot of guts to do what we did. We made some really competitive plays on the ball. Obviously, the turnovers were huge, and even had one called back early. So, some really competitive plays. Just kind of kept fighting, hung in there, trusted the defense, and played. We did absolutely right. We did play some of our best at the end. And another thing I noticed at the end, man, we had defensively. I especially noticed this was we had a lot of guys that were hurting, a lot of guys that were just absolutely gassed, and everybody was just begging to go back in the game. It was just. The sideline was just begging people to put back in, and guys that had, not a whole lot left in the tank, and we're all banged up. And I just think it says a lot about our culture and the toughness and just how much the kids and the guys are ready to fight tonight.
Appreciate it.
Jenny Carlson.
Lincoln, by my count in overtime, Spencer either threw or carried 13 of 16 snaps. You guys obviously are, offensively moving almost at will in overtime. What was it about him like in overtime, especially?
He just trusted it. He was better here at the end of the game than he was the previous couple of weeks, simply because he trusted it, trusted his teammates, stayed really true to his reads. I thought his mentality and mindset and confidence was really good. And again, he's a guy that's going to take any setbacks or any failures, and he's going to learn from them. He's not going to let them discourage him. He just kind of has that way about him. So I was very confident in the way we would play and gave him a lot of opportunities to make plays, and he, along with the rest of our offense, made a bunch of them there.
Thanks.
James Hale.
Lincoln, you had a chance to play a lot of guys in this game. You
Yep.
played the next generation a lot, especially on defense.
Yep.
I'd like your thoughts on that. And also, on the 4th and inches, when it looked like you were going to throw when Tom called timeout, did Creed or Spence or somebody say, hey, let's run behind this All-American and see if we can get this first down or get this touchdown?
I don't know. I don't want to go too much into the decision, but obviously it was a play that we felt good about executing, because obviously if you don't get it there, they've got a heck of a kicker themselves, and you're going to have to. Your chances aren't as high as you would want there. So. No, I just had a lot of faith in the line, especially those guys to get pushed, get it in there, and we did. And as far as playing all the young guys, it was a plan going in. We felt like some of these guys had taken some steps over the last few weeks and were ready to play. And boy, did we ever need them, with all the snaps on the field. I mean, it was a battle royale, and it took every single person to get it done.
Thanks, Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just a couple more back to Kerry Bernard.
Lincoln, you're missing Seth McGowan tonight. You really had to put a lot on the shoulders of TJ Fletcher and Marcus Major. Can you just talk about the challenge of those guys going out and performing tonight?
Yeah, man, they hung in there. Yeah, they were tough for us. They really were. They did some really nice things. They got better, which we're going to have to continue to do in that room and every room. But had some really tough runs. They both made some big-time plays. They're two young guys that are going to continue to just grow and get better and better. But obviously, we took some big steps in the run game and still felt like we left, a little bit out there. So, but proud of their fight. It was a little bit of a light room this week, and but they attacked it and made some big-time plays.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Lincoln, the importance of the result, just getting a win in this situation because of what you guys have been up against the last couple of weeks, the leads that have filtered away, the one that almost got away from you today. What were you looking at coming out of a 5-hour battle like this, 0-3 in the league, and having to keep everything together, and you've not gotten a result?
And I'm not going to talk in what ifs, Garen. What happened is we won, and it wouldn't change what I've seen out of this team, in the last week when, again, a lot of people have doubted us that, whatever. We didn't let any of the excuses hold us down. We just found a way, and I knew we'd be ready for the fight by the way we prepared. You never know for sure if you're going to win a game or not. That's not reality. But, I learned it was great to see the team fight and find a way, but I learned a lot about this team this week before we ever even stepped foot on this field.
Chris Summers, 247 Sports.
Hey, Lincoln, I realize this is one of the wildest Red River games ever. I'm just wondering if you can speak to how different, if at all, this game felt from an environment standpoint, kind of with everything going on.
Yeah, it was different. I mean, it's, the things that you're so used to, the bus ride in and the fair being packed, and it was almost eerie. It was almost like driving into a ghost town. It was, I don't know how to explain it. It was very strange. The atmosphere was a little strange, and then, and I say strange in that it's just different. I mean, everything's just different right now, and those of us that have been in it, you're so used to it being just so epic. And then at the end, it felt like there were 90,000 people in there. I mean, it really did. So, despite all the stuff against the game and all the people not being here and all that, the game still found a way to be pretty special.
And last question from the VP.
Hey, Coach, if you could just take us through the decision to throw on 3rd down late in the game when Texas was out of timeout.
Yep.
Gave them a little extra time. Your thoughts on the thought process, and then if you had it to do again, would you do it that way?
I would. I mean, you had an opportunity there. You complete one pass, you win the game. And, I felt like, where we were at, we'd gotten some good field position there. And so, even if you don't, you're going to have the chance to pin them, and they got to drive the whole way. And honestly, I didn't really want to put it back in Sam's hands. I mean, to be completely honest, he's just been a part of so many of these, and we saw, what they did up in Lubbock just a few weeks ago. And so you got a chance to win the game, and it was a play that we're confident in, and disappointed that we didn't execute it. But then, those guys came back. Both of them made some pretty big ones there after that.